Let's bring in New Jersey Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew. He's a member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee and the Homeland Security Committee as well. So with those committee assignments, you're well positioned to shed some light on what's going on here. The president was famously asked by Scott Pelley of CBS News a couple of months ago about the rail strike that he averted. What happened?
Well, that's the point, and it's good to see you, John. When you have a weak and feckless president who made promises right before an election, like he was going to get rid of up to $20,000 worth of student loans for young people, and of course, the day after the election, that disappeared. Like we've really settled the rail strike, and of course, he really hadn't, again, to look good before the election. When you've got a bad president, you get bad results. But here's the bottom line. Congress cannot let the rail shut down. We absolutely not. I mean, the supply chain is already weak. We have a lot of problems with the supply chain. This would be a horrible disaster if we allow this to happen. We just can't do it. Yeah, considering inflation in the supply chain, we've got to get in there, and there are some things we can do.
But I imagine the negotiators for the union know that they've sort of got the nation over a barrel, that they've got some pretty good bargaining power, don't they, right now?
You know, they have some bargaining power, and that's fine. That's part of what goes on. So, you know, one of the things that we can do in Congress is extend the cooling off period to allow some more time for a discussion about this, but not to allow the rails to shut down. I can't impress that on everybody more, because that would be a terrible thing to happen in the country.
Yeah, I think
the second thing we can do is we can certify the existing contract they have. I don't think that's what they want. Or we can actually certify in Congress the tentative contract that was supposedly going to be the good one. So there are options out there. We may have to get involved. I hope they can work it out. I hope the president takes a little vacation time off, because literally the only time I ever hear from him is he's on vacation somewhere. These are really serious issues. We need to be him. He needs to be Johnny on the spot a little bit more, and he's not on any spot, and he's not doing the job.
Yeah, I think everybody has experienced, some blowback from the supply chain crisis that's ongoing in this country. And as you point out, you shut down the railroads, that is going to get way worse very quickly.
John, we can't do it. It would just be a big mistake. It would be an example of a lack of leadership in my mind. And the unions have to understand that. The president should understand it. I don't really know what he does and doesn't understand, but I know a lot of people in Congress do. We have a responsibility to keep this country moving and to keep it going. We got to make our supply chain better. We've got to drop inflation. This would increase both. Well, it's no go.
Yeah. Talk about inflation. Let's talk Christmas trees. A lot of people, after Thanksgiving like to run out and purchase their Christmas trees. Well, according to the Christmas Tree Growers Association, they're expecting average prices to increase 5 to 15% compared with last year. That's about 71% of the tree growers are saying that. It's not only going to be inflation under the Christmas tree this year, it's going to be inflation of the Christmas tree.
Yeah, you're right. It's everything. I mean, it just amazes me what food costs, what, energy costs. And this is fixable. I mean, the worst part of this is if we didn't spend so darn much on so many things. I mean, we're sending money all over the world. I feel bad for the Ukrainian people, too, but we're sending tens of billions of dollars, and he's going to have another tranche of money he wants to send there. We basically support the World Health Organization. We send money to Iran, and they call us pigs. I mean, that has to stop. We have to take care of America. We have to tighten our belts and spend less in what we spend abroad and in other areas with other things. We have to get the supply chain going. Unbelievable that 90% of our drugs come from China. It's time that we create our own strong American supply chain. That will really help with inflation as well. Those are the important things that we can really do and make a difference with. And yet we don't see those things happening, but they're all doable. And most of all, energy. We've got to pump. We've got to drill. We've got to open up the leases. We've got to refine more. We've got to frack more. And we can also look at, other types of energy as well. But right now, we've got to get our energy on the move. I want us to be number one again.
New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew. A lot of Americans are with you on that score, I think. Congressman, thanks.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.